Alright, hi everyone. I'm finally back for some live streaming. The story goes as such. I finally got some decent internet at home, so now I can actually do some live streaming, which I've always wanted to do. So, as usual, if you have ever tuned into my live stream before, if you want to be part of the live stream, be sure to leave a comment in the chat and we might be able to set up a Jinteki.net game. In fact, I'll be more than happy to play against any of you viewers. Otherwise, I'll just have to go to JNet and get a random game. So we'll try to do 2 games today, one on each side. If you want to play against me, do give a shout out in the chat and we'll get a game going. Otherwise, I'll get a random game up. And as per usual, we'll wait for about 5 minutes for viewers to stream in before we begin actually streaming. So do stay tuned. Alright, so a quick rundown for those of us who've just joined us again. I'll try to play 2 games today, one on each side on Jinteki.net. If you want to play against me, I'll be more than happy to do so. Leave a comment in the chat section and we'll get down to it. Otherwise, I'll wait for about 3 more minutes before I begin searching for a game on Jinteki.net. In the meantime, I shall entertain you with some random ramblings. So I've been thinking about cards, especially since the latest data pack 23 seconds has just hit the spoiler town. Pretty interesting pack. I might do a pack review on it in time to come. But it got me thinking about cards that I do and do not want to see in the game. That can be a problem. A lot of people have been complaining about the Mumbat cycle, and with good reason. And I'm thinking about the types of cards that we really don't want to see. I think one of those cards that is really causing problems is recursion-based cards. I mean, recursion has been a thing since early on in the game, where Deja Vu was a core set card, and slowly over time they started printing more and more recursion cards. But the problem is when you introduce too many recursion cards in the game, it reaches a critical mass and suddenly it enables all sorts of degenerate strategies which detract from the fun of the game. I think you see that a lot of decks that are labeled as degenerate are actually decks that rely on recursion to play the same card over and over again, or something to the effect. Because in Netrunner, you have to build a nearly 50 card deck, and are restricted to running only 3 of each card at most. So you cannot consistently pull off any combo-based strategy when there are only 3 out of 50 cards in your deck that you're looking for. But with recursion, you can turn those 3 cards into 6 cards, 9 cards, 12 cards, many cards. One of the most degenerate strategies that's been existent for a long time is account siphon, siphon spam rather. A single account siphon is okay. It's not really crippling. It's a big tempo hit to the core, but it's nothing that you can write home about. However, when you start playing multiples of account siphon, possibly multiples in a turn from same old thing and Deja Vu, that's when it crosses the line from being a powerful card to a degenerate strategy. And this is what people are taking issue with. This is why Museum of History is the brunt of so many complaints, because not only is it clickless, it is potentially permanent, especially when comboed with hostile infrastructure and industrial genomics. This is why a lot of people have been calling for Museum to be banned, and it's not wrong. People think that it's easy to trash Museum, but once you start protecting it behind ice, or worse still, protecting it with hostiles and and IG, you just get to the point where they are not trashable anymore, and it's possible to then build a deck that theoretically lasts forever. And I take issue with that as well. Games should not have to go forever. And if the corp is able to play a game that goes on forever, I think that's not right. Even though in a tournament setting there is time limit, you don't want to see this kind of decks in your casual game night where no time limit is enforced. Ooh, Revention. Okay. Yep. Talking a bit too much there about recursion. Right. So let's get down to game. Yeah. Okay. Let's start with the runner side. I want to try this runner deck. Get the volume. Oop. Give me a sec. Alright, I hope the sound is good. Should be. Let me. A bit softer. Yep. Okay, that should do. Okay. Alright, so while we wait for Revention, the last card I want to talk about is Jackson Howard, which is the kind of recursion card you want basically, because it removes itself from the game, just like Levy, just like Trope. So whoever plays this card cannot make the game go on infinitely long, and that is the mark of better design, right? Yeah, I have 1,000 subscribers. Woo! Yeah, I remember when this channel started out, I only had about 400, I guess, and numbers have more than doubled, which is always great. Good question. Mm, Alright, yep. I'm not playing tier 1 decks, but these are by no means complete jank, so I always like to go for the midpoint, something that appeals to both competitive players and players who like to deck build alike. So this is Bagat in Max. I know I've been receiving requests from people to actually install Bagat and see what the best case scenario is. Well, hopefully I can present that to you today. This is a very good hand. It has a lot of money. I shall keep that. So I think Baga is really good in Max because the problem with typical NL is that you want to set up wilds like Chronotype, Liberator accounts, daily cards. There's so many resources. I'm almost certainly going to get tagged this game. So I might not get the Baga off, but one thing's for sure. At least I'm not reliant on wild side for draw. Okay, no targeted marketing. That's good. I need to keep this open. Ooh, levies in the bin. Gotta keep note of that. Alright, we'll get our money out. And let's hit Liberated. I'm not sure if my opponent's on kill, so you have to respect that, but my opponent's playing very slowly, clicking for credits instead of installing ice and advancing. So I'm quite happy about that. Cards that are in the bin, lots of money. Okay, so this is a Bagat deck, so I do want to attack HQ. Let's attack HQ. Yes, and the main reason to force the ice rest is so that I can parasite it. Unfortunately, that's not parasitable, so I'll draw. Oh, it's a data sucker, that's pretty good. I will install data sucker and I'll run archives to get one sucker counter. This is quite important again. Oh, come on, it's Cyberdex. Yeah, to be Cyberdex. God damn it. Okay, this is gonna make things hard. So the main problem with Cyberdex is I do want the Mimic into Sucker so that I can get past Newshound. That's not gonna happen. Oh boy. Okay, this is bad. A lot of money's in the bin. So this is gonna run out pretty quick. and he double ice HQ. So the Bargat plan is kind of gone, more or less. Okay, let's run R&D first. That is somewhere I can farm data sucker counters on. Pop up. That's good to see. Okay, it's a Tom. Oh, I wish installing the parasite can mill that, but okay, that's a big problem. Okay, tell you what. Okay, let's play the fouls before he names it as target, and let's take all the money. Yep, I think that's the best plan. So he's gonna have a very hard time naming something for targeted marketing because he doesn't actually know what my deck's about. So there's a very good chance I can actually dodge the marketing. Let's see what he names here. Probably Dave. Wow. Oh, I love this. There's no outside in my deck. I absolutely love this. Okay, so that might be the rush. So possibly the best thing to do now is install the Mimic and go for the server. It's probably a News Hound. No, it's a wraparound. Okay. Well, I don't have a choice.
Login rejected.
I will draw and I will then run. Let's okay, is there okay, I need 4 cards, so 1 oh, this is painful. 1 2 I have to ditch. No, I don't want to ditch. I have to ditch the Bagat and Parasite. Oh, that's so painful. I definitely didn't want to ditch the Bagat there, but I didn't have. Oh, Cyberdex. Okay. Yeah, that was bad. The good news is I do run 3 copies of Bagat in my deck, so that's not the end. But oh gosh, I didn't want to see that at all. Yuck, yuck, yuck. Yep, that's not good. So the bad news about okay, I definitely don't want to see that. That's almost certainly an agenda. Let's see if I got lucky. Nope, no Corroder. Still no Corroder. Yeah, that's not good. No, that was a very good bait. That was very well played by my opponent. So this is gonna cause me a lot of problems. Still no Corroder. Great, okay. Or David for that matter. I do run both. Oof. That is so awkward. That's Dirty Laundry R&D. He probably has another Astro in hand, and I can't do anything about that at all. Clones are not people. That's not what I want to see either. Oh yes, got a clone chip. Yep. This is not looking good. There are 2 Davids and 1 Corroder in my deck, as if I can remember correctly, and I'm supposed to have very quick access to them. Unfortunately, what I don't have quick access to are my parasites, which have all been milled right now. So I'm in a lot of trouble. The good news is my opponent has very few credits, but as you know, New Angeles Sol can operate on very few credits. If you watch my finals game against Brendan at the Darksphere Regional Finals, you would know that one thing that New Angeles Sol doesn't really need is money unless they're trying to mid-season. Okay, I have another levy, so I can live without this Deja Vu. I will recur Deja Vu for double Parasite because this deck really likes its Parasite. So I would do Parasite medium, but I don't see any mediums. So I'm gonna Parasite that. I'm gonna run R&D for free. And I'm going to Parasite HQ as well. So I need to watch out for memory. That is a problem. Yeah, that was a misplay. I should have saved the Parasite to kill the R&D ice. That was a misplay. Baga and my second Grimoire go in the bin. That's not what I want to see. Okay, that's a gamble. Let's try. Do I have no? Still no Corroder. Jeez, this is bad. Let's try R&D again. Yeah, not the best draw, not gonna lie. There's a bit of money, but ooh, free access. I'll take that. Jackson, that gets trash. Let's do again. With sucker counters, I'm feeling okay with this arrangement. Although not having more than 4 memory is really causing a lot of problems right now because I cannot actually insta-parasite this. Yeah, if I want to insta-parasite, I probably have to override the parasite on the wraparound, which is a big waste. So yeah, I really didn't think this through very clearly. And that's not what I want to see either. That's quite bad. That is quite bad. Sucker goes in the bin. Yeah, okay. This is gonna get really dicey. My opponent is probably gonna mid-seasons me to hell. We'll see what happens from there, but I don't fancy getting mid-season. Ooh, nice name. That yeah, naming Kuroda is pretty good. That's a very good call. That's a problem. Perch. Okay. So that is likely a new sound. Which will explain why you didn't res it, I guess. I don't know. I'm really not liking what I see in the heap. Okay. Let me think about this. Yes, I do run 2 levies because this deck chews through itself very quickly. Let's play I've had worse. Let's run R&D. So force him to rest this ice this time. Probably a toll booth. I have no idea what the ice is. Ooh, huge. Okay, if he's gonna let me keep coming to R&D, I'll happily take that. Levy. Okay, let me think about this. I would like to install the Kuroda right now. The question is over the Mimic or over the Faust? Probably the Mimic. Or over the Data Sucker. The Mimic's useless without the Sucker, so I think it has to be the Mimic actually. Then I'll run HQ. Let's see what the ice is. And let's see what he has in hand. Last click run is quite risky. Yeah, it is the News Hound. Okay, so 1 card, 2 cards, and 3 for the Plascrete. I might regret the Plascrete ditch, but I'm gonna do it. Quandary. Still don't see any influence, so I don't exactly know what his plan is here. I'm going to mill myself out, so I have to give him the Tama. No choice about that. But what I can do though is to get a Bagat mill next turn. If he doesn't ice up HQ. Let's see what happens. If he doesn't ice up HQ, I'm going to pop Clone Chip for Parasite and kind of burn down the News Hound, I think. I could do that. Yeah, burning down the News Hound will be pretty good now. That seems like a good idea. Let's see what he does. It really depends on what he does here. He can expect the 10 credits to come very soon, so that's a problem that I have to deal with. Oh, you're really going for that remote? Okay. Yeah, you can have that remote, I guess. Might be playing kill, which is a big problem. Alright, so how am I gonna do this? Ooh. Oops, I missed my window. Yeah, I missed the window to parasite the News Hound. That was very silly of me. Oh man, that's bad. Yeah. Okay, I'll run HQ. Alright, so he's trying to fire off a clones are not people. That's fine. I'm going to parasite the news. Oh man, I forgot to install Bagat before running. I'm so silly. What the hell am I doing? Okay, yeah, I'm just gonna install Bagat here. I'm gonna levy. And I'm going to take a credit. Oh man, I'm just completely screwing up right now. Oh, I forgot to install the parasite. Oh, what am I doing? I'm so sorry. That was really bad play. And I should have lost 2 sucker counters. Yep. Okay, I should have lost 2 sucker counters when I ditched the card to break News Hound. Yeah. I just I'm in a complete mess. What I should have done last turn was to use Clone Chip on Parasite, and oh, that's not good. Yeah, I should have Clone Chip on Parasite, and then try to kill the News Hound or something. But I'm doing it all wrong. Anyway, that's a big problem. He could easily win the game next turn. So I need to. What do I need to do? I have a Clone Chip in the. I'm not gonna do anything with that. Okay. No, I can't afford to do that. I need to Dirty Laundry R&D now. And hopefully kill the current. Archangel? Well, that's awkward. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I think I've more or less lost this game. If he has any agenda in hand, he just wins from the clones are not people, doesn't he? It's so bad. Yeah, I can't do anything about that. I mean, I could poke his hand for a 1 in 5, but well, I just misplayed it a bunch. Yep, that's it. Yeah, clones are not people is really annoying. By then, this is you see, so this is the problem with Bagat, right? You much rather be a legwork so that you can sweep the bill out of his hand. You much rather have a medium instead of the Bagat so that you can actually kill the current or something. I know killing the current doesn't really help because he can just replay it, but yeah. And in the situation where he was on 4 points with an Astro token and the clones was active, what I really needed to do was to sweep his hand with a legwork. And even Nerf Agent does a better job at that than Bagat does. So, another reason why I'm just not convinced by this card. I mean, sure, it gives you a lot of incentive to run HQ and hammer it, but when it's protected by a News Hound and you are stupid enough to not take your Parasite with a clone chip before you levy, then I mean, even if I had parasited his News, yeah, if I were able to parasite his News Hound on that turn, things might have been different. So yeah, I just misplayed a whole bunch that turn, but too bad you didn't get to see Vaga in action again. It's not that good a card. Yeah. Mm, Well, but that was still a pretty good learning experience. So with this deck, it's very important to just demolish all the HQ eyes, and I kind of tried to do that, and I kind of failed. The new sounds are always annoying. Don't get me wrong, but yeah, it's that Parasite play that really just cost me the game. With a Sucker and Parasite, it should be so easy to clear the path to HQ, and I had a full turn to leverage that when he spent the rest of the turn advancing the Palooza and then installing and then playing Close Are Not People. If I had a Parasite there, I would have been able to hammer HQ 4 times. He wouldn't have been able to make the play of scoring the Palooza. Curious though. There are no Davids in this deck. That is something I should add to this deck. Whoops. Yeah. This deck definitely needs Davids. I need to redo this deck. I didn't really think it through properly. My first run with this deck is meh. Again, Vargard wouldn't have changed anything. A legwork would have been more useful. Okay, let's tune into the stream. There's no one. Okay, let's see if we want to swap sides. Alright, co-op side should be more interesting. My co-op side deck is a deck that I actually done a video on already, but none of you would have seen it because this is a video that's scheduled to be uploaded in the near future. I hope you all enjoy this, even though you have no idea what's about to hit you. I have quite a lot of confidence in this deck. Confidence as in I think this is a good deck. Let's see how things work out here. Okay. This should be interesting. So, wait till you see my ID. But don't be fooled, this is not a weak deck. I think this deck is pretty decent. Nasir, oh, I like the Nasir matchup. I will keep this. There's a lot of money here. So first turn is Celeb Gift into Shatana. I'm not sure what I'm gonna place a Shatana on, but given that it's Nasir, I'm pretty sure he's not running Count Siphon, so I think not icing HQ is fine. He might be running a Polop, won't be happy about that. But that's the worst. I think I can take a Polop against Nasir. One very big benefit is that my ice is generally relatively cheap to res, so I don't have to worry about Nasir too much. The question is, do I really want a Shatana on R&D? I need to think about that a bit more. Alright. You can almost be certain that my opponent's running Rebirth though, so I expect the Rebirth. Oh, okay, that's a pretty good start. I'll select this. And I'll be a very, very cheeky person. I'll put the Ichi on R&D. He doesn't want to run to the Shatana, so he's not gonna run R&D. I hope that's the case anyway. Unless he doesn't reach Shatana and blindly runs R&D. Well, I'll be sad then, but we'll see how this goes. The worst case, I can always just stack the Shatana on the Ichi. But, yep, we'll see what he has on Personal Workshop. Data Sucker. Okay, I need to ice up HQ. I guess it's a bit too late to do it right now. It's gonna Dirty Laundry HQ, probably. I don't see any other server he's gonna Dirty Laundry. He could Dirty Laundry R&D and take the Shatana for 2 net. That's possible. Yeah, of course you hit HQ for the 1 in 4 Caprice. Everything else doesn't matter. Oh, hitting the Shatana kind of matters because it will telegraph the EG. Yeah, I actually would rather him hit the Caprice than the Shatana. Okay, he hits the 2 restructures, so it's fine. Patron. Okay, Patron deck. Well, then, in that case, click once, draw. Upa Yoga. I need to read it. The runner loses money. Let me think about this. That is not the worst subroutine for Nasir to take. Okay, tell you what. Let's play Restructure, and I'll give him the next patron. I don't think there's any way I'm going to defend him from the next patron, so I don't have a choice but to give him the Gigantic Elephant for one turn. After that, I'll try to get Crick or something on the on Archives, and then we can party. So that's Shatana on HQ, Ichi on R&D, which will kill the Deersucker. I'll be happy to do that. I run 17 ice in this deck. This is a Glacier style. Yeah, I think I should explain what this deck is. This is basically your Polana Glacier deck reskin in Nisei Division with all the very taxing ice from all the taxing side ice. Let's draw. Let's draw. Let's install Crick on Archives. Ditch a duplicate Crick that I will reinstall should he decide to run Archives. That's a pretty good solution. No patron for you. Yogg! What? What? Okay. Yogg. The good news is none of my ice is yoggable except for Crick not on Archives. So click 1 was draw, click 2 was draw. Yep, that's fine. Yogg! Boy, oh boy, I haven't seen that in a while. Okay, Nisei. Well, okay, yeah, logical thing to do here. Restructure this one on new remote and that one on that remote. So yeah, the problem with playing all the side eyes is that none of them are hard end runs. The closest to a hard end run you're gonna get is Snowflake, where you decide to end the run. This is why Caprice is doubly important in this deck. I'm gonna defend this Nisei with a Caprice, and hopefully I can score it next turn. I do intend to score it next turn. So, what are the benefits of playing Glacier Jinteki in Nisei instead of Polana? The problem with playing Side Ice in Polana is that they can repeatedly headbutt into your ice. And that's not good, because if they're headbutting into your Snowflakes, your Upa Yogas, they're not getting taxed out that much. You don't want to bid anything but 0 whenever they run. Yep, I called the rebuff. And Kit. Oh. Okay, now I see where the Jang is coming in. That is actually quite oppressive. That's a problem. Yeah, that is a problem. I hope it doesn't run this turn. That would be sad. I think he will run though. Do I? Yes, I do. I can't let him collect sucker counters like that. So sadly, this Shatana's not gonna do jack. It's not gonna do anything. The good news is I can still defend the Nisei. I can. Yep. So it gets through. And basically didn't use Nasir's ability once during the entire game. So go figure. I mean, the good news is he can build a kit deck while having 15 influence. And I'm not gonna waste any time. This is going straight in, and yeah, this is not his scoring window. He has no money to play side games. That alone bring out a barrier breaker. So I should be good for this. But he can now run Archives or HQ. If he runs archives, he's gonna actually be in trouble. He's gonna run archives. If he runs archives, I'm going to res the crick. No last ice he wants to see. And I will get to fire it, and I'll put a crick on HQ so that this isn't patron bait. But yeah, he can still patron through R&D. That's fine. Alright, so I am going to install the crick on HQ. Yep, so this will take care of my HQ eyes for the rest of the game. What I would like to do in some time to come is to place another Ichi on the Ichi. That would be Ichilicious. Ooh, okay, sure. Unfortunately, Kid's ability still only fires once every turn, so you're not gonna get very far with that. Hedge fund, okay. I'll get this out of the way. We will begin icing up R&D and purging virus counters after this turn. So yeah, a smart thing to do right now is to just target R&D for patron archives, really? Okay. Whatever floats your boat, I guess. Oh. Right, I forgot. Yes, the crick's not gonna keep him out. Okay, that's another problem. Yeah. There's nothing in archives to keep him out. That is a big problem. Yeah, the crick's not doing anything at all. It's getting a lot of value from this. Yep. Definitely gonna think of a solution to this. I cannot let him have this forever. R&D interface, that's not what I want to see, but a double Ichi should put an end to that pretty quickly. He's very reliant on the York, so he cannot let Ichi fire. What you can do, however, is to run R&D every turn and click through on Ichis. I wouldn't want to see that. Okay. The Enigma is completely useless. I'm going to place Jackson in server 1 so I can Jackson draw next turn. He's still pretty poor, so the RNDI threat isn't really live yet. Once I find Marcus Bettys, he's gonna be in quite a bit of trouble. Because you bet I'm gonna put the Marcus Bettys on R&D. The problem is I need to also be aware that he can now contest my remote, so keep that in mind because he does have an SMC out. And a bunch of sucker counters. So yeah, you haven't really seen York, or rather, I haven't really seen York at all in the past few months. It's still a pretty broken breaker and definitely worthy of a spot on the most wanted list. That's a code gate. Not very useful. Yeah, all my code gates are not very useful right now. Even Lotus Field wouldn't be useful because he has Net Ready Ice. I'm so tempted to put the Eli on Archives right now. I need to put something on Archives. Actually, I don't really need to put anything on Archives right now. I mean, it kinda sucks giving him all this draw, but it's not the worst. I'll just hedge fund. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't have anything good to dump in Archives yet. If I find a Betty or a Caprice, things might change, but for now, he's just gonna get free access on Archives, which can't be helped. It really can't. I think right now, my primary concern should be to find the second Nisei and rush out quickly, because double RNDI is definitely not something I want to deal with. I'm not sure if he's running Parasite. Probably not enough influence for that, but if he does, I really need to be careful. Okay, I'm gonna place the Lab Gift. This should be the last bit of money I need to score for the rest of the game, and I'm going to Jackson draw. Yes, I have a lot of useless cards in my hand. Oh, Betty. Okay, Betty is good. Let's ditch the Enigma and what is this ice? Upa Yoga as well. Man, these Upa Yogas are really not useful. Let's drop the Snowflake. I would actually like, yeah. If he lets Quick Fire, I'm just going to install Snowflake. HQ. So he can burst through HQ, and I will show him the Shatana here. So Shatana is a sentry. It basically has Neuro Katana stats, but it has 2 subroutines, so it is that much more taxing. Ooh, Faust. Okay, so this is a Faust deck. I sense a political operative coming. I am okay with Jackson Howard going to the political operative. There are no agendas in archives. Oh, he runs Parasite as well. Ooh, that's bad. Yep. So I'm gonna give him 2 credits. So I guess that's the downside to Shatana. When you're rich and the runner is poor, you don't really want Shatana to fire. That is quite true. That is definitely a problem with Shatana. Let's see if he hits the future perfect. Nope, it's the celeb gift. Okay. Most important thing is to get the Betty on R&D ASAP. And to find the second Nisei. No Pollock. Okay. Interesting. Wonder why he made a HQ. Film Critic. And HQ again. Yeah, I'm helping his economy. This is actually not that good. Yep, I'm not that big of a fan of Shatana. I played 3 copies of Shatana in my first version, and I decided to cut to 2 because it. Oh my gosh, he found it. No, that is bad. Bad, bad, bad. Okay. Plan B. Don't keep agendas in hand. Let's go. Okay, let's restructure. That's Jackson. I can't play voter intimidation yet, so that will have to stay. Let's put this on R&D and let's play restructure. Alright, so this should be kind of crippling, and voter intimidation has quite a few targets. I'm probably not going to target the film critic, honestly, unless he keeps the future perfect there for some reason. I'm going to target the personal workshop with R&D eyes on it. Or the patron. They both work. Yep, he's probably not gonna let Quick Fire. It's just 2 sucker counters. He can afford 2 sucker counters. At this point, I'm not getting my Snowflake back, sadly. The single Crick is not enough. This is actually quite a tricky situation. I'm not really prepared for this particular breaker suite. I do not run Cyberdexes, so the data sucker is going to be a huge problem for the rest of the game. In conjunction with Faust, I'm not sure if I have a swordsman, but even if I have 1 copy, I don't think I can rely on seeing it, so I have to be really, really careful. Yeah, I have to be really, really careful with where I tread right here. Okay, so he's drawing a bunch of cards so that he can threaten the remote. Okay, fast track. I don't think this is the time to fast track yet. Let's hit Jackson. Woo! Look at that. Let's put this in server 1. And let's I don't know what else to do here. Probably ice R&D. I do have the money. I can afford to do that. Do I ditch the future perfect or the global food? Oh! I didn't realize they actually liberated the future perfect. So now I can actually play voter intimidation. Okay, what am I gonna bid here? Probably 1 or 0. Probably 0. Yep. And yep, I don't want him to have that thing. He can take my future perfect. I'm going to actually drop the future. What's he running? Archives? Hit R&D. Ooh. This is interesting. And this time I'm definitely bidding 2. So I'll trash the York, obviously. I mean, trashing the sucker is very tempting. But no, I'll trash the York. That is a very tough choice. That might have been the wrong choice. I have absolutely no idea. But I think taxing him for 5 credits at this point is a really good plan. Yeah, I don't really care about the film critic, as I said, because at this point he already has a 3-pointer, so film critic doesn't matter. I mean, it kind of does, because if he finds another future perfect, it's very easy for him to steal it. Nah, he's gonna break it, of course. And I'm almost certainly shuffling in cards. I'm not gonna leave the future perfect in the bin. I have to reshuffle it with... Actually, I can leave it in the bin, right? Let's retrieve Marcus Betty and a bunch of money. Let's retrieve Marcus Betty and voter intimidation and restructure. Sounds good. Yeah, I'm gonna be really ballsy here and leave this in archives. Hopefully it won't bite me, but I really don't want him to. Ooh. That's not good. That's not good. That's not good. That is not good. Ooh. Oh. Oh. Well. Well, that was a good game. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Maybe I should have killed the film critic after all. Yeah, R&D kind of betrayed me right there. So there are 2 agendas here. There are 4 agendas there. There are only 2 agendas left in my deck. I mean, at this point, the only way I'm gonna win is if I get a voter intimidation. So, nope. Well, that came to an abrupt end. Um, yeah, okay, so what did we learn from this game? 8 agendas bad, 9 agendas good, I don't know. That was a very awkward game. Uh, I, I mean, yeah, I basically had one agenda and 2 agendas left in R&D. So yeah, there were 4 agendas in R&D when he hit it. I definitely didn't expect him to hit both of them. That being said, that was quite a porous R&D. So to be fair, I really didn't fancy his Breaker Suite. York Sucker with Kit is actually pretty awful for me to deal with because I'm relying on the Cricks. I have Enigmas, I have Upa Yoga, which is usually a piece of good ice. Like Faust needs 3 cards to break it, or 2 suckers and 2 cards. Upa Yoga is pretty good, and then they play York and Blanket. So, props to my opponent. He played that very well. The Film Critic really helped a bunch. But yeah, I think I do need to tweak this deck quite a bit to make it work. But I think it definitely has potential right now. You can see just how taxing the ice is. I would really like to say that this deck is good, but I just all out lost against it, so I'll just blame it on bad luck. Clearly, he hit the 1 in 5 future perfect with the Film Critic, and then 2 out of 4 agendas in a rather uh, rather sizable R&D. So I don't know. Well, that was a beating. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the game. All of you 11 viewers, thanks for tuning in. And uh, let's get down to some questions. Yep. Let's see. To address the comments, Mother Goddess is definitely something I consider in this deck. Mother Goddess is pretty strong because Upa Yoga fires off it, and you do need some endurance. As I said, this is not the most secure remote. Where's the remote here? This is not secure at all. There are no hard endurance. Eli is the most annoying endurance that you can get, but if you don't find your Eli early, you don't really have any hard endurance. So Mother Goddess actually doesn't do a bad job. The problem is it kind of gains a lot of subroutines. I mean, a lot of subtypes, and that's pretty bad against Shaper. And ultimately, 4 to res is actually quite expensive for Nisei Division. You saw that I was pretty rich this game. But in a typical game, after resing all my eyes, you realize I don't have that many credits to play side games and score agendas. I mean, playing side games is pretty cheap for Nisei Division, but actually having to advance agendas is pretty expensive. And you really do miss the Polana credits. So that's the reasoning behind that. Any other questions from other players? If there are no other questions, I think we'll call this a day. I do like the Out of the Ashes Patron combo. It is quite strong. The ability to get cards clicklessly. I mean, outside Chronotype is strong because you get cards clicklessly. This is pretty much the same concept. All you need is a blank remote to run on, and that's another problem with Crick. This is something I need to look into as well. I found that Crick is not as effective as I like it to be in Nisei Division. It has an awesome ratio, but it is blank half the game, and that is not really acceptable. As I said, R&D interface is actually this deck doesn't really care about R&D deep digs because Marcus Betty just keeps York out, keeps medium OA, and the best thing is uh, it is not counterable with political operative, and you do always have the money to play the side games as Nisei Division. So I really like Betty into EG. The R&D interface kind of circumvents this a bit, and this is the main reason why I lost. This is also why I really wanted to use Voter Intimidation on R&DI, on the personal workshop with an R&D on it, because killing that means one less R&DI, and that's quite a big deal, because as I said, he can just click through the EGs every turn and break with Faust and everything. That's not good for me. Alright, I guess that's about it. Thanks everyone again for tuning in, and I hope to do more live streams in the future. I hope this was quite entertaining and fun to watch. Those were some very good games, not gonna lie, even though I lost both. Uh, I hope I got to show off some really interesting decks, and hopefully it was entertaining at the very least. Once again, thanks everyone for tuning in, and till next time, happy net running. Goodbye.